Hello and welcome to Midlife Meltdown. And in today's short video, I just wanted to respond to a question I had about my other video on how a narcissistic relationship is like being in the matrix. Before I go into that, as always, if you like these videos and find them useful, then please help me reach more people by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell so you see more future videos. Hit the like button and leave any comments or questions in the comments section below. And I'd really love to hear from you if there's anything in particular you'd like to see in future videos. So the question I had about my first video of why being in a narcissistic relationship is like being in the matrix was really around the role of the agents in the matrix and whether they relate to flying monkeys in real life. So first of all, if you haven't seen the original Matrix video, I'll put a link into it in the comments section below. I'd recommend going to watch it. I think it's quite relevant. Also, if you haven't seen The Matrix, this is going to make no sense. And like I said in the original video, make sure you see that movie. It's a classic. So to give a bit of an explanation of both, let's start with what flying monkeys are. So flying monkeys, which is a reference to the Wizard of Oz, are people that the narcissist uses in real life to help support the narrative around them and effectively bring onto their side in a campaign against you. So it's effectively people that they use to tell lies to manipulate, to make it look like you're the guilty party, that you're the bad party. So a classic example is setting a story that actually you cheated on them, that you were abusive to them, and giving them a support network of people that believe them. And to explain agents in the Matrix, they're effectively computer programs that are represented by agents all dressed in black with sunglasses, whose job it is to track down those that have freed themselves or are about to free themselves from the Matrix and shut them down and to eliminate them, effectively keeping the Matrix stabilized and keeping the illusion there. And so I can see the comparison, although I disagree with it. So while I think flying monkeys in real life are agents acting on behalf of the narcissist, they're people that have bought into the narcissist story, I think the role's different. And the role of the agents in the Matrix, I think, is much more closely represented, is much more of a metaphor of the manipulation, the control mechanisms that the narcissist uses, not actual physical people. So if you take the role of the agents in the Matrix to shut down anything that will break the illusion, so those that have freed themselves from the Matrix, that are attempting to free other people and free other minds, effectively escape the illusion, pull that curtain down, that's a very similar process to what the narcissist does when they feel that you're about to break that illusion. So if you're starting to detect that something's wrong, if you're starting to suspect an infidelity, the first thing the narcissist will do was use a coping mechanism, use some manipulation to shut that down as quickly as they can. So in my case, when I suspected my wife was having an affair, or should I say another affair, and I called her on it on a telephone conversation, the reaction I got was extreme anger, extreme blame, almost accusing me of being a controlling person, or not even actually accusing me of being a controlling person and trying to restrict her life. And the purpose of that reaction was to be so severe that I would feel bad about even raising the subject, that I would question what my objectives were, and effectively to gaslight me into thinking that I'm a jealous, controlling person, and so I would never question that ever again. And it's that kind of control and manipulation that I do feel the agents in the Matrix represent much more closely. When a slight breach is detected, when a threat's detected to break the illusion, those agents are sent en masse to try and shut that down as quickly as possible and eliminate that threat. So while I can see the comparison to flying monkeys in real life, in my head I think flying monkeys come into the picture much more once the relationship is over and the illusion's broken down. It's people that the narcissist brings on board almost to set that new false reality around them fairly quickly and to build that support network. Although I could see in some circumstances that flying monkeys might be continually used to keep up that illusion, to keep up that narrative, and almost to keep that gaslighting going and to keep the victim on their toes a little bit. But in my opinion, the agents much more closely represent the control and manipulation, the coping mechanisms, the techniques that the narcissist has learned over many years to shut down any chance of that narcissistic illusion being broken. And that's why I think it's a much better comparison. Now, while I feel slightly silly about talking about the Matrix in a serious sense, I do think it's a very good metaphor and a good analogy for a narcissistic relationship, and in that sense is a good reference point. So I hope you find that useful, and I hope that answers the question for anyone that had that kind of thought. And as always, I hope that's helpful, and if there's anything you'd like to see me reference in future videos, then please leave that in the comments section below.